What's going on, everybody? For the New River Battalion, I'm Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Harrison, and you're watching Torch Swans, the show where we have answers to your burning questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by two of the newest members of Army RC and the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets, two freshmen. Nathan Kyle Hughes, aka Nate the Great, is from Newport News, Virginia, in the heart of Hampton Roads, and is in fact the son of not one, but two Corps graduates. He's a member of Alpha Company, the Top Dogs in Army RTC, and Delta Company in the Corps Cadets. Nathan has aspirations of becoming a cyber officer in our Army, and this is a pretty good place to make that dream come true. Sebastian, Kai, and Chang-D'Arcy. Did I say it right?
Yes, sir.
All of it?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. All right. Hails from Glen Ridge, New Jersey, famous for its continued use of gas lamps to light their streets, and as the birthplace of astronaut and Army legend Buzz Aldrin. He is also a member of both Alpha Company, Top Dogs, and Delta Company in the Corps, and is considering joining my beloved infantry. You obviously have superior taste.
What's up, New River Battalion? Just want to do a quick shout out to Top Dogs and my mom. Love you, Mom.
I just want to shout out Top Dogs as well, and my mom as well, actually.
Gentlemen, welcome to the show. What's your experience with spicy food?
Would consider myself above average. Obviously, my Lola, my family makes hot sauce, so I would be pretty confident to say above average.
Okay.
I'd say I'm probably just around that average spice tolerance. I used to eat a lot of spicy foods. Like when I was younger, my mom would make a lot of spicy foods, but recently I haven't really been eating too spicy, so I'm pretty excited for today.
All right. Well, we're going to get you back in the groove real quick, Sebastian. Anything you guys want to talk about before we get started?
What advice would you give us, sir, starting off as freshmen? Like, we're obviously new to pretty much everything this year.
Be open to anything. You don't necessarily know where you're best suited to serve and what's going to call and resonate with you. So don't assume that something isn't meant for you, unless you already know and have tested that assumption and found that to be valid. And then always be a good teammate. That's going to remain true for the rest of your life, because you're always going to be part of a team. Even if that team is like you and your kid or your parent or your significant other. A team of two is still a team. So be a good teammate.
Awesome, sir. Thank you.
And I think they've taught you a great deal about followership and contributing to a team over the last little bit, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they have.
Okay. Well, why don't we start with our first protein? Thanks to Colonel Surrey, the PMS, for contributing this one. It's called spontaneous combustion.
All right. Awesome.
Which one do you want?
Yeah, I'll take this one. All right.
So the protein are homemade chicken nuggets that I made over the weekend. New experience for me. I think it pairs pretty well with this. All right. First question. Gentlemen, here you are, 29 weeks, or about 6 months into your cadet experience at Virginia Tech. Was it what you expected it to be?
To be honest, I really didn't know much going into the Corps. I was more focused on the ROTC side of things, but I didn't really know about New Cadet Week until I got here, which kind of sounds a little bit dumb, but it was like with the breakout that our cadre had, like the first day going into it, I was pretty surprised. I didn't really know what was going on, but I feel like I gained a lot of confidence in the 29 weeks or however long I've been here.
Yep.
Yeah, so definitely being here for a while now, it kind of is like what I was expecting. So my parents would always tell me stories of their time in the Corps. So I kind of generally formed my own kind of image beforehand. But now that I actually get to live it out myself and live out my own experiences, I've learned a lot of stuff that I had it before, and it's awesome. I'm loving it here.
Well, so on that topic, Nathan, what advice did your parents give you as you approached entering the Corps and joining Army RTC?
So some of the biggest advice they gave me is half of the world is waiting for the other half to say hello. So you really just got to go and put your best foot out forward, get to know people, and the connections you make here are gonna like last you a lifetime. So I really try to prioritize my relationships with people. That's one of the biggest advices that they've given me.
Absolutely. Human relationships are generally our most meaningful thing, and one of the best places to invest your time and energy. Sebastian, your mom told me that this was really the only college experience you were attracted to. Why is that the case?
I really liked, I visited here my junior year of high school, and I actually had Jack Responti as my overnight.
Shout out, Jack!
Yeah, and just meeting like all the people that were doing Army ROTC just like really attracted me to it, and just like seeing the people that were actually doing ROTC. So it was kind of the people who were doing it, along with I just like doing physical stuff, being outdoors. So I was also played a big factor in becoming here.
Was that last year?
It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago? Okay. Very cool.
I was also a spend the night. Shout out Cadet Witzel. If you're watching this, thanks for showing me around.
Nice. All right, well, this will be familiar to you, Nathan. This is Lola's Insanity Sauce. Please tell us who Lola is before we proceed.
So, yes, Lola is my dear grandmother. Shout out to you. I love you. She makes all of her hot sauces homemade. So she has this whole garden, and she grows her own peppers and everything, all homemade ingredients. And then she makes it, and then for us to enjoy. So I'm really excited. Without further ado, I think we should.
Second time we've had Lola's handiwork on the show. Enjoy. Thanks, Lola.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like the garlic flavor a lot.
It is delightful. Okay, Nathan, you experienced snowboarding for the first time over winter break. Why did you seek out that experience?
Yes, sir. So I went skiing for the first time on my senior trip last year. And some of my classmates went snowboarding instead. And I just thought snowboarding looked so much cooler than skiing. So I was like, one day I'm going to learn how to snowboard. And I got that opportunity over winter break. And it was fun, but it definitely hurt. The faster you go, the harder you fall.
My kids recently took up roller skating. Shout out to Aunt Tarna for giving little Tarna and JD roller skates. And my daughter was struggling with processing failure. And I told her, baby, fall down 8 times, get up 9. And now that's her mantra, and she loves it. So yeah, I've never been snowboarding. Good on you. I can ski just fine. Snowboarding is Sergeant Banfield's thing. Shredding the gnar. Okay, Sebastian, why are you obsessed with mangoes?
I just really like the fruit. I've just always liked mango juice and mangoes since like I used to visit like my grandpa almost every weekend in the city, and like he would always just have mango juice or mangoes that he would like have for me when I got to him, and like just kind of like the memory of him giving me like stuff that was related to mangoes really. That one was hot.
That's what we're here for. I like mangoes too, but I guess that's neat that you have a family tradition, but then it's also a food that you enjoy in and of itself.
And what's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit? Good question. I would say it depends. I love a satsuma, which is a type of citrus fruit. They are like the best version of an orange you can imagine. Big fan of apples. And if I'm going to do really strenuous physical work, obviously bananas are a necessity with all that potassium. My kids thought they would like dragon fruit. That was a total failure with them. They thought the name was cool. But star fruit are also an underrated fruit.
Sure.
Here we go. So now that Lola has done her worst, we're moving up to Mike. This is Mike's Hot Honey.
Okay, awesome.
Extra hot.
Excited for this one.
I've never had like a honey hot sauce before.
It's really good. That one's quite pleasant.
Your grandma's that one had a kick to it.
Oh, you think Lola was all right.
You're in for it.
Lola was punching above her weight. Fair enough. Well, fellas, we're gonna transition now to one of my favorite things we do on the show, which is explain that Graham. Thanks for opening up the aperture to your friends and family to contribute some things.
I'm nervous.
Oh, no.
Let's see what we got. These are pictures that we just would like to understand what's the story. So we're going to start with Sebastian. What's going on here?
Oh, that's us at FTX this past fall. I think on the last day we were eating barbecue from Mission Barbecue, and I just took a selfie with Nathan just as a memory, kind of. We both really enjoyed FTX this year, and we're in the same squad. We were in the same squad for it, so it's just one of kind of like a memory from FTX on the last day.
Right on. So that was purposeful too, that you guys were in the same squad. The goal was the people you do PT with are the people you train with.
Oh,
so because
awesome.
you're in Alpha Company together, and I assume you're in the same platoon in Alpha Company.
Yes, sir.
Good job, Alpha Company. That's why you ended up in X-Ray in the same squad.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
We are pretty deliberate around here. Not many things are left to chance. All right, what's going on here?
Oh, that's from this past summer, or actually past spring. Me and my friends, me and two of my friends actually, we started training jiu-jitsu with our wrestling coach probably the beginning or the middle of our junior year, and we would always talk about jiu-jitsu around our other friends, so it actually inspired them to join, and that's just me with my buddies at our jiu-jitsu gym over break. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What happened?
That's from probably the second week of Red Phase here at Virginia Tech. I've had a buzzed head for a while. I used to buzz my head a lot in high school, but I didn't realize I never really did anything to shape my hair a certain way when I buzz it, and that was kind of just an on-the-spot thing. I told one of my buds to put a hair on my head like Avatar.
Okay, I was going to say, I assume you're meant to be Aang,
Yeah.
the last airbender.
Yes.
My son wanted to do the same thing over Christmas break, so I basically shaved his unruly mop into an arrow, and we tried to kind of dye it blue. It's partially successful. Looked like this. Bing. Okay, last one for you. What is occurring here, and who is this person?
Oh my goodness.
That's me at the beach. I actually don't know from when, but that is my little brother. His name's Thaddeus, but I just call him Tad. And I think that's probably us in Cape Cod. We used to go up to Cape Cod every summer. It was kind of like a family tradition, and I'd actually meet my friends up there, and that's probably just a picture from one of those times during the summer.
I have three brothers, so many of my core memories are shaped by the things we did with or to each other, depending on how mature we were. Okay, Nathan, you're up.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember this?
Yes, I do. That was, so Army kind of had a meet and greet right before New Cadet Week. And so that was my first time actually getting to meet you, sir. You came up and talked to me. I don't know if you remember that.
I do, and your parents.
Yes, you were actually the first person from the New River Battalion to talk to me. So I definitely remember that. I made a lot of good friends that day that I still keep in contact with today. So yeah, that was a very cool day.
That was the goal, so I'm glad it worked.
Yes, sir.
All right, tell me what's occurring here.
Oh, okay, yes. So this was for the Corps Shadow Day. So I got to shadow Cadet Second Lieutenant Prislap. And last semester, he was the S3 for the New River Battalion. So it was such a cool experience for him to take me behind the scenes in the S3 workshop to see how things operate. And I got to go to one of the battalion meetings with him in the mornings. And it was fascinating to me just to see the level of structure that goes into those meetings. It's so cool. And yeah, I just really appreciate people like him who are willing to mentor and really pour into the next generation of officers for our country.
Spencer's one of the good ones. There's no question.
Yes, he is.
And Shannon might one up him this semester, but I would posit every S3 has gotten better because of the one before them. He set the bar really high. Who are these people?
Yeah, so those are my parents. That's my dad on the right, his junior year. He, in the picture, you'll be able to see he's wearing his Ranger cord. He's also wearing his airborne badge that he went to the summer prior to complete that. And yeah, that was my dad. He was a Echo class of '99. And then the next picture, my mom, she's the one in blue blouse on the right. That's a picture of the 1st Corps Regimental Commander, Denise Schuster, and with my mother, who is actually the 2nd female regimental commander of the Corps. So that's a pretty cool bit of history right there. But yeah, both of my parents went here, and I guess kind of paved the way for me to be here today. So.
Right on. My dad was the Ranger Company commander when he was a cadet here. He was Kilo 70. And then there have been several really awesome examples of female regimental commanders since then. So, those two ladies started something unique, and it's continued through to this day.
For sure.
All right, last one. What's occurring here?
Yes, so this is a picture of my college signing day. So this is where my school, I'm very grateful, they organized an event for me to sign where I wanted to take my Army scholarship to. And I mean, it was pretty obvious. I was going to Tech. Best Army ROTC in the nation. Can't complain with that.
Back-to-back world champs.
Yes, sir. So in that picture, yeah, my family was there for me, and Lieutenant Colonel Birdsong and Command Sergeant Major Matthews both came to my signing ceremony.
Good memory.
They really poured a lot into me, so I'm really, really grateful for that.
Excellent. All right. What would you guys like to talk about before we move this ball a little further down the field?
What is one hot sauce that you have yet to try?
So that great question. So this is what the shelf looks like right now. And on the top right there's one that's in kind of a funny looking vial with a wide base, and it has a little label on it that says Satan's Blood. And it's not as spicy, I'm pretty sure, as some of the ones on there. It just doesn't look very appealing. So I haven't found the right thing to pair it with at lunch yet. But every other hot sauce I have tried, most of them I use fairly regularly, and it's communal. So a lot of the instructors come in there during lunch. Sergeant Bailey, our newest HRA, being one who's doing it often, is coming in and just trying new stuff. So I invite you anytime you like to come by and try a hot sauce. You know who used to do it almost every day?
I'm not sure, sir.
Spencer Prislak.
Oh, I should have knew that.
So 2 years ago when he was a sophomore, he'd come into the old S3 shop when I was the 3 and the MS3 instructors, and that's where kind of the birth of the Torch and Torch ones came. We just brought a bunch of bottles of hot sauce in when we found out a lot of us liked it and shared it, and he would come in and try it. He gradually escalated from fairly anodyne hot sauce to the highest levels of heat, and has been on this show before. So you're following in good footsteps.
That's awesome.
Okay, here we go. This is number 9 on the current Hot Ones lineup.
All right.
Enjoy.
Let's do this.
Pretty aggressive right out the gate. And as you noticed earlier, a pungent aroma. So Sebastian, you mentioned that weightlifting, wrestling, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu are your hobbies.
Yes, sir.
But that seems to be at odds with a different hobby, which is eating cookout.
Oh, yeah.
Do you care to explain?
So, usually on the weekends, me and a couple other guys from our company, we'll just go to cookout for lunch after lifting, and that's kind of a tradition for us. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, Nathan.
Yes, sir.
You like pineapple on pizza, as do I. Sebastian does not.
Oh.
What would you say to him to convince him otherwise?
If you haven't tried pineapple on pizza, you haven't lived yet. Like,
After I did.
well, still, you haven't lived yet. Like, it's the best. Like, it adds like a sweet tanginess to something that's already amazing. Pizza. Who doesn't love pizza? So, you really can't go wrong with it. I love it, sir.
My favorite combination, you'll be shocked. Jalapenos, pineapple, pepperoni.
Ooh.
So it's like Hawaiian pizza, but with a little twist on it. Give it a try.
That sounds exciting.
Nathan, you're also a member of a bunch of organizations like Valor, Crew, Oaks, and Chi Alpha.
Yes, sir.
Which is your favorite?
Ooh, that is a great question. I don't know if I have an exact favorite. I really love all of them. I really love Valor because a bunch of cadets partake in it. So it gives me the opportunity to get to know cadets who I might not know, who are not in 1st Battalion. And honestly, I just love all of them because I get to like meet new people, build relationships, connections. Yeah, I always have a fabulous time whenever I get to any of them.
Okay, guys. Before we take the final plunge, anything you'd like to talk about?
Got any tips and tricks to get through this next one, sir?
So, much like adversity in life, you just endure. It's like doing the plank. You just go to that point and exist. And eventually, it'll get better. Time. Time is the solution to this problem.
Understood, sir.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. So, it is tradition around here to put a little last dab on the last dab. So, I offer to you, you can decide if and how much. And please be mindful, that is a very dangerous weapon system. Please safe it when you're done.
Yes, sir.
That last one had some kick to it. Oh yeah.
Is that moderate, sir?
That's
You guys
that's bold.
Okay.
You're good. And everyone else, keep in mind, these are already pre-sauced, so it's not like it's not already ready to defeat us.
Okay, last dab.
There it is. There's that fighting spirit.
boy.
That was even more bold. Please put the hold on. Yep. Hold on. Now be careful. These don't go anywhere near our eyes, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, guys. Cheers. Godspeed. Good luck.
Godspeed, gentlemen. Okay.
So Sebastian, as the last dab, kicks us directly in our throats and our heads. I wonder, did you know that at one point Nathan also had 6 toes on one of his feet?
I did
And
know that, sir.
did that bond you together?
I think so.
Sure.
How does that come up in conversation?
It's a really weird story. It was like during New Cadet Week, we're all lined up to take the showers or to go shower, and like I see like this such weird looking like abnormal thing coming out of his foot. As I take a closer look, and I was like, no way, that's a 6th toe. So then I ended up telling him, I don't know if you remember, but I was like, yo, that's crazy. Did you know that I had a 6th toe too? I don't have it anymore. I had it removed at birth, but I just still think that was bizarre. It was on the same foot too,
Yeah, that's
left
pretty
foot.
crazy.
So it was bizarre, and it was definitely a good icebreaker and like talking point for sure.
Fair enough. Sebastian, what do you think you learned about yourself as a wrestler that you've applied to what you do now?
Just don't give up. You can't really give up during a wrestling match. You're in there 6 minutes max. Gotta give it your all.
Unless it goes to overtime.
Yes, that's true.
I was also a wrestler. Absolutely. Taught me a lot about myself. Okay, Nathan, bring us up. You said that the service project in Giles County in the fall, in lieu of Caldwell 1, was your most memorable experience so far as a cadet. Why?
Yes, sir. So, it was really unexpected. Well, yeah, we'll have to cut back at a later time.
A few moments later.
So Nathan,
Yes, sir.
service project in Giles, why was it your most memorable experience?
So, it was just such a cool experience. It wasn't something we were expecting to do. A lot of us had really high expectations for Caldwell 1, and we're really looking forward to it from everything that we heard. But with the events of the hurricanes, really hammering the local county, the call to help and serve others was definitely much greater than going on a 13-mile walk. So getting to be in Giles County and just helping people like get back on their feet, it was much more fulfilling than any march would ever be, and it really does fulfill the whole idea of boot president.
Absolutely. I've said this before, but I remember the core staff meeting that week. I saw Carson Modernock, another female regimental commander that you know, and her team proposed doing that. And it was one of my proudest moments as a leader to be like, man, I can't believe that I'm watching them really do something special. And it was to help people in need in a part of the country that doesn't always get that much help. And as a kid who grew up in Southwestern Virginia, made me really proud of them and proud of what the Corps Cadets teaches us as a group, but also what we do in this battalion. So that was good stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right, any parting shots, fellas?
That was spicy.
It was very spicy, sir.
The chicken was delicious, though. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Well, gents, congratulations. You made it to the top of Spice Mountain. This camera, this camera, this camera. Tell the people what you got going on in your life.
Yep. I got a summer internship this summer, so I headed to Fort Meade for that. Really excited for that opportunity and excited for any future opportunities coming my way. But I'm going to finish out the semester strong with my buds by my side.
I'm looking forward to traveling this summer. Sorry. I'm just looking forward to traveling this summer and just working, getting contracted next year, definitely.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Great job, guys. River Forge.